good news, Phil. What the hell do you mean the mill never got the transfer? I personally made sure my funds were in the bank yesterday.
So that means this whole thing rests on your shoulders.
Bank's been hit.
What'd they get away with?
Oh Lord, there's gonna be trouble. Oh Lord, they're gonna crucify me.
I don't know, Andy. I swear I don't know.
The bank robbers. We need...
The bank fugitives? How do we know he's not just making this up?
Right here I see the lights go out. They got a man in his hands on the Bible.
What's the biggest threat to kids today?
Drop it!
Welcome to Thunder Bay Live. I'm here at the Renaissance Cafe. I'm here today with Lee Chambers, and we're talking today about the Pineville Heist. Lee, first of all, congratulations on getting this project done. It must have killed you as we're going through it.
Yeah, for sure.
How does one come up with an idea and then take it all the way to an actual movie? How do you do that?
You know, I think a lot of people have ideas. I think naturally almost everybody has a story inside them that they want to tell, but actually going through the process and getting it out of your head, disseminating it to a whole bunch of people that creatively need to help you make it, and then putting it up on a screen is a tremendous amount of work. And that's, you know, as I teach at the college and I have, you know, 80 film students who are running around making short films. And I know how much work it is just for them to make a 5 or 10 minute film. So to make something that's 80 or 90 minutes long is a mammoth task. And I don't think most people realize that. I think the average person will only watch my movie once. They'll go to the cinema, those 80, 90 minutes go flying by. They make a judgment on whether they like it or not, and they go home and they move on to the next thing. For me, it was an 8-year process. 8 years from the time I started working on the idea, going through a couple years of developing the screenplay, then trying to find the money, and then, you know, actually getting it to the camera, and suddenly bringing 35 people together to make it, you know, to capture everything, and then actually put it all together like a jigsaw puzzle to complete it. It's a lot of work.
Well, a lot of marriages don't even last 8 years. You had to convince others that this was a good project.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Like, how did you sell it to, obviously, people to contribute financing or to help sponsor this?
Not easy. I mean, I fought after the sort of the traditional funding route within Canada. So, you know, Heritage, OMDC, Telefilm, and I ran around Toronto meeting all these people. I mean, a big disadvantage for us is, you know, we're kind of way up here in Northern Ontario where they seem to forget that we exist sometimes. And, you know, it's hard to network a lot of times with people like Telefilm or the people where they would consider the film businesses in Canada, in Toronto or Vancouver. So it's difficult. The other big issue, I think, for me trying to find money was that although I've done lots of short films, I've never done 80 minutes of narrative drama, and I was always even told I'm the biggest risk. We like your script. That people wanted to buy the script and then give it to someone else, and to say we're going to give you millions of dollars, but they're worried that I'm going to blow it, that I will just I'll blow the money, I'll spend it on the wrong things, I won't be able to hack it. And so that was the biggest problem, was finding the funding. And in the end, we ended up we didn't find any government money, nothing, zilch. So I had to make a decision a couple years ago, and that was, I'm not going to let an organization tell me I can't make it. I made a decision, I'm going to shoot this thing no matter what. And serendipitously, crazy things happen when you set a goal and you stick to it. And I found people who came on board and wanted to do it. I think the biggest thing that I did, the smartest decision I made, was I knew 8 years ago this was the project that I wanted to have my name on as my first feature film. And most people, so we craft the screenplay, but the screenplay is something that the average person doesn't read. Like if I gave you a screenplay, the format is just it's a blueprint for craftspeople to make a movie. So for 8 years, what would happen is people would say, "What are you doing, Lee?" "Oh, I'm working on this Pineville Heist movie," and maybe you'll see it in 8 years, but there's no enthusiasm or passion that people have for it. Lee's trying to make a movie. It may never happen. Whatever. The smartest move that I made was I novelized the screenplay. So I took the screenplay and scene by scene, I turned it into a book that the average person would read. Set it up with found a couple of distributors who took it on, released it in paperback, ebook, and audiobook formats, and over the course of the last 4 years that it's been out, 42,000 people have purchased, downloaded the book. So what it did was it created a fan base. I had there's an audience that not only all over Canada and the United States, but the Netherlands, Austria, India, England. So there's people out there who've read the book, who like the characters, and so a lot of the financing that I found for the movie came from people who, actually I don't think a single financier or an investor read the screenplay. They read the book. They liked the book.
Oh.
They were passionate about the characters, and they enjoyed the thrill ride of what was going on, based purely on the book. And then they put in just trust in me, right? That I would pull it off. The other thing that I did was creating a package, because when it's only 92 pages of just paper with words on it, it's hard for me to convince you that what it could be, right? So again, it's really difficult for an investor to see what I see in my head. So I spent a lot of time doing a lot of concept art, storyboards, putting together a really nice package that kind of illustrated as close as possible what I was looking at doing. And that, I think, if I can excite an investor based on that, and that's really what happened. The book, really good concept artwork, kind of helped pave the way to actually get the money.
Now, you chose Thunder Bay to actually shoot the film in.
Well, because I live here, right? I mean, it's home. I'm not originally from Thunder Bay. I've been here for 11 years. Been teaching at the college for 11 years. Originally from Sault Ste. Marie, so I'm a Northern Ontario boy. And then I took off. I have an advertising art, graphic design background. Hence, I'm good at doing this kind of stuff. I'm good at promoting and marketing the stuff that I do, because that's the other half of it. Making it's one thing, promoting it is the other.
You did this? You drew this up, or just concept?
You know what? The concepts, and I work with a couple of photographers and artists who help bring it to life more so than me. I mean, I'm a trained graphic designer, but I suck as an illustrator. So I'm not really good at Photoshop. So I work with people who are really good at Photoshop. A woman named Melissa Connors in Sault Ste. Marie, a friend of mine, did a lot of the work based on my concepts. So yeah, so I had that background, which is all based in composition, color theory. Basically being able to present your work so that it looks good and presentable. So yeah, I lived was born and raised in the Sioux, and then in my mid-20s I took off. I went to England. I did film school. I went to University of Film and did film school at Leeds Metropolitan University. Lived in England for 8 years.
Nice.
Every now and then I throw out a British phrase. I still call an elevator a lift, or the boot of the car instead of the trunk. So I still have some of that in me. But so I lived in England for 8 years. Worked on some stuff there, and then I was in LA for 2 years and worked on some music videos and some commercials and whatnot. And then I came here in 2004, and sort of partly by accident, but partly got kind of found myself here, and I lucked in. I got in with the college, and I really think the Confederation College Film Program is like an amazing program. I think I've seen over 600 students over the last 11 years, so there's just tons of them that are now working in the film industry. And on this movie, it was great because I had 59 students and grads worked on the movie, so that's 59 opportunities where people got their first feature film credit or a feature film credit that helped push them, so they can get it on the resume and help push them forward.
Were any of the characters or any of the main characters from Thunder Bay, like actors, actresses from Thunder Bay, or?
There are some Thunder Bay actors. There's there's about 2 or 3 ones that are kind of have sort of they're minor roles, they're speaking parts, and then all of the there's basically the story is about a high school kid who.
Don't tell us the story. Let them come and watch it. No.
Well, I mean, just so people understand, it's been described as Die Hard with a teen as the hero, as the John McClane character, a kid who interrupts bank robbers in the woods one day and gets away with their money, and he heads back to his high school, which is supposed to be a place of safety, and the bad guys show up and want their money back. So that's the basic idea of it. When I didn't get government funding, when I went entirely private, I was kind of frustrated at the time. You know, it's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'm frustrated that I'm not finding the money to make my movie. But the moment now when I look back at it, the moment I went private, I had the control went back into my favor. Because when you go with government funding, it usually comes with strings attached. You have to hire this guy, you have to hire that, you can't do this. And so the young kid in it, these 2 actors, the young kid and his teacher, are Australian. And I had worked with them in Australia when I worked on another movie a couple years prior. And this guy, Daryl Doherty, he's actually a Confederation College film graduate who's now based in Toronto. The sheriff is from Texas. The principal is from Los Angeles. So we had this international cast and crew, including my cinematographer, my editor, came from Australia. So I worked with people I wanted to work with, and I think it made the movie better because I wasn't forced to work with someone I didn't want to. Nothing against people from Northern Ontario. I mean, all the kids that played in the high school, all the that we filled classrooms and hallways with high school, all came from pretty much St. Pat's drama class. So there's like 35 of them, I think, that helped create the atmosphere of a real high school. So yeah, there's lots of Thunder Bay talent in it.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure the people out there are glad to hear that. I'm sure a lot of them will show up to come and watch the movie just to see themselves in the movie.
That's it.
That's a good. What's the step to promotion now? Like, you're gonna have a launch. Where's it gonna be? What's taking place? How is this movie gonna roll out? And is Thunder Bay the opening of the launch of the, what do you call it, the campaign across Canada? How is it? What happens? What transpires?
Thunder Bay is getting the world premiere, and the thing with an independent movie where I made it with this much money, not like lots and lots of money, is that when you're making it as one thing and it's difficult, distributing it is immensely even harder. Because I have a lot of people saying, well, is it coming to Toronto? Or are you going to be showing in Edmonton? And when am I going to see it in Topeka, Kansas, or wherever? And it's like, well, to book screens and do a theatrical run is expensive, and I don't have money to get a tie-in with McDonald's for Sheriff Tremblay action cups. I don't have a deal with Mattel for toys. I don't have bus ads. I don't have ads running. You don't have marketing. I mean, they call it P&A, or prints and advertising. And the average movie, Hollywood movie, spends $30-40 million trying to convince you to go and see the movie. So theaters are kind of really difficult for the independent filmmaker to get. So you kind of shift to video on demand, DVD, Blu-ray, iTunes, getting it on Netflix eventually, trying to get television deals. So theaters are difficult. So I do have an exclusive deal through Cineplex, where we're showing it in a couple cities, starting on April the 6th in Thunder Bay, where we show it 3 times. We show it at 6 o'clock at night, 8:30 at night, and 10:30 at night. And because I'm not really, the deal is that I'm doing it for free, and it sounds weird to say that because I'm not paying for the screen, but then again, I'm not generating revenue, but I want people to come and see it. I want to fill the cinema with people so they can see what we've made. And it's a charity screening, so people donate to Free the Children, which is a great organization that's also connected with Cineplex. Which is one of the reasons why they've graciously supported me with allowing me to have screens for a couple nights. So that is to launch it. That is to kind of, here's the first chance to see it on a big screen. The way, we shot on an Arri Alexa, which is a Hollywood camera. It's the same camera they shot the James Bond movie on. So, we captured on the same format that any Hollywood movie would shoot on. We made it look like it looks like like it belongs in the cinema. But the real life for it, unfortunately, comes down to smaller screens, right? And so before we finished the movie, I think partly because of the book as well, I think the book, having an audience and being able to generate that many downloads and sales and stuff, got me to a point where by the time, just before I finished making the movie, I had 4 offers for distribution, a couple from Canada and a couple from the States, and I chose an American company because of their connection with Walmart and various retailers that will be pushing the movie not just within Canada but in America and also globally. So, again, it's one thing to make it. I'm not just making this thing for Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Thunder Bay. It's made in here, but I'm not just doing this little thing where we're going to show it here in Thunder Bay and then it kind of sits on a shelf. The plan is rolling it out to 6,000 Walmart stores or Best Buy or Target and Amazon and all those retailers, and pushing television deals and maybe in a year or two from now it'll be on Netflix in 60 million homes, which is tremendous reach for being able to showcase the movie and Thunder Bay.
Lee, just before you go, I want you to tell people out there where it's going to launch, the night of the launch, and what's going to transpire that night, if you can.
April the 6th. April 6th is the day, and if it says 6 o'clock at night, which is going to sell out, I'm telling you right now. Consider the 8:30 and the 10:30 because it is going to pack out.
So you got 3 showings?
We got 3 showings. I have actors coming in from potentially Australia. I have the sheriff is coming in from Dallas, Texas. Some actors coming in from Toronto. So we'll do a little Q&A in the cinema. So you'll have a chance to sort of ask where things were. People will recognize a lot of the places. So yeah, it'll be an exciting night. If you know anybody in Sault Ste. Marie, we're there on April 14th. So we do the same again on April 14th. And then in between those two, I jet to LA and show it in Hollywood on April the 9th. So we've got I got a busy week. Of screenings, and then right now you can actually pre-order the DVD on Amazon.com or Amazon.ca, which comes out May 3rd. So it'll be an exciting few months to finally people can finally see it.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing the show, that's for sure. Lee, I want to thank you for coming out
thanks a lot.
to be live. Honestly, anybody that can make a movie is amazing. That's amazing. I got to give you credit, and I hope you the most success, and I know you will be successful because you do a great job of, your heart and soul is in the project, and I can tell you got a lot of passion for it. So, Thunder Bay Live at the Renaissance Cafe. I'm here with Lee Chambers, the gentleman that actually the vision, the promoter, the producer, and everything else you can think of for the movie Pineville Heist. Watch it April 6th at Silver City. Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, cheers.